Got a little bird buddy here. I don't know if you can hear him. But anyway, good morning everybody. Bill here with another TV photog tip. I'm just blown away how beautiful this day is. The sky is blue and all the leaves are green. If you know what movie I am singing, put it in the comments, because I'm automatically your friend, because you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, just a beautiful day. Look at that river. So nice. Temperature's right. Barely a cloud out there. Maybe way off in the distance, but nothing over here. Oh, it's so nice. But today we are talking about A-roll editing. Okay, so we are talking about A-roll editing specifically, not B-roll, A-roll. And for those that are new to this or don't know what A-roll is the tracks and sound bites, and then the B-roll is the video that you put in later. And so the A-roll is important to do first for me because it helps you with the deadline and the pace before you cover with B-roll, because you don't want to waste time laying B-roll if you have to edit down your package even more. So if it comes in at a minute 40 and your deadline is supposed to be, your max is supposed to be a minute 30, you can easily cut out 10 seconds. So we're going to talk about A-roll. This is in my homework for things I want to talk about in this channel. I found videos that I had previously shot that maybe I had not released, and so this happens to be one of these. So I real-time shot this as I was actually editing a package for the 10 o'clock news a couple years ago. So you can see my real-time editing process. One of the reasons why I try to be fast is I'm going to get a little personal here. A couple years ago, I was just having a bad day, things were going well, I was on a live shot, and things just, what the heck. And then I heard the anchor complaining in my earpiece to the producer, director, about how Bill is so slow. And that really hurt at the time, but I decided instead of getting mad about it and quit or whatever the case is, I am going to keep moving forward, and I'm going to try to get better and faster than other people so that I can reach that. And so as I said, I wasn't going to let me down. And so eventually I got to the point where I'm doing stories regularly with Boyd Hubert. If you work in broadcast, or maybe you don't, you know that name. His nickname for me was the Midicky Compressor, because A, I could edit so fast, and B, he can come to me and say, oh, this package had timed out long, our budget is X, like a minute 30, and it came out to be, a minute 50, work your magic. And then I come to him and I said, it's a minute 25. And it's just like, so push yourself, get better. That's a side note on that. But this is a video, again, I shot a couple years ago, real-time editing. I hope you enjoy. On occasion, I get questions from people on any suggestion I might have to speed up editing process. So I'm going to show you what I would do normally just for A-roll to help possibly speed up your process just a little bit. These are just things that I've learned and I picked up. Doesn't mean that this is the right way, this is just my way. So hopefully this will help you out in some way or another. Okay, for starters, I have a couple rules that I follow when I edit. One is my audio levels are usually right about here, which is in the yellow just a little bit, but definitely not up here where it's going to be red. So I try to follow that as best as I can. Another rule I have that I try to follow is channel 1 and 3 tend to be track or sound bites, and 2 and 4 will be nat sound. Now I'm just going to show you how to do A-roll, because B-roll, people have a lot more different philosophies on how to cut B-roll. So this is just A-roll, this is basic. One thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do the A-roll first and then cover with B-roll, because if I'm ever at a time crunch, I can just do in, out in the black areas and just overlay. And so I can put down a 10-second shot if I'm really tight on time, versus covering as I go, to which I can get lost in time just nitpicking on little things. Right now, it's about an hour before deadline. I don't have a complete script, but if your reporter / partner is helpful, you have a system like ENPS here where you can see the script ahead of time. They can put sound bites in here, and so that saves time. I can be proactive and edit my sound bites ahead of time. One other thing that I do to help me with my editing speed is I use these little markers. And so I have one sequence with all my shots together, and then I have these little markers, and so I can use these markers to go to my next shot using my keyboard. And so that helps speed up my process a little bit. Now I like doing this versus the individual ones because I'm not spending time clicking or searching through all this. I can just easily go like that, and I know like this shot came after this shot. So I'm going to start editing my sound bites and just kind of lay them in there because I don't have track yet. The one thing that helps with speed is I just look at the time code here and I'll just type that in to my keypad versus trying to search and scroll and try to find it. Because by typing it in there, I can just put it in and it'll come up directly from 700 for frames. And that'll be my shot, or roughly in that area.
What can I get for you today? Open. Camera. All right, what can I get?
I'm going to edit kind of loose on my timeline here, or at least the sound bites, and then I'll tighten up as I go later.
Alrighty, will that be all for you? Close, and I think the panic set in, and instead of hitting the brakes, she backing up, and she got to right about here, and the picnic table's here, and people are saying, stop, like you're getting really close, and there's always this table, just because there's always this table here, and now there's kind of this like white elephant in the room,
Everybody witnessed it, right? So anybody sitting at a picnic table, they didn't run away from it. They ran to help, which was the amazing part, right? You were close to my nephew. That the woman couldn't breathe, so he said, "Is there a hose or something?" So we cut off the length. Yours and is there something? So we cut off the length of the hose and brought that down to try to help the woman breathe while she was underwater. Of all these people jumping into, because of all these people jumping into action, it was just really hard. It really touched my heart to see people do that. And there's a lot more good in the world, and that was just an example of people wanting to do something. Because you can see your life changes in a moment, right? So, our heart just goes out to the family.
Okay, so I just pulled all my sound bites, but I haven't edited them or tightened them up yet, and I just got script here. So now I can do one or two things. Either I can go back and finish editing out the sound bites and tighten it in, and just tighten that up and I'll insert, or I could tweak the sound bites as I go. But in this case, I'm going to just tweak the sound bites first, and then I'll insert the track later. I like that way better. Trim up some bites here.
All right, what can I get for you today? Get for you today. What can I get for you today? Alrighty. Will that be all for you? Will that be all for you? She was backing up, and she got to right about here, and the picnic table is here, and people are saying, stop, like you're getting really close, and close, just because there's
So as I go here, I'm also going to adjust my audio level here versus down here, because this is more fine tuning for me, and this is kind of overall kind of thing.
Just because there's always this table here.
Again, keeping it kind of around the yellow area.
Kind of this like white elephant in the room.
I'm gonna cut out the you know.
Everybody witnessed it, right? So anybody sitting at a picnic table, they didn't run away from it. They ran to help, which was the amazing part, right? Was there something so... All right. Amazing part. Was there something so... Something so... And so we cut up. So we cut up and like with a hose and brought that down to try to help the woman breathe while she was underwater. Because of all these people jumping into action. It was just really hard. It really touched my heart to see people do that. And there's a lot more good in the world, and that was just an example of people wanting to do something. Because you can see it. Wanting to do something. Wanting to do something. Wanting to do something. People wanting to do something.
If you notice, I like to edit with the waveforms on so I can see where the words are. And then I can use the rubber band tool to help edit that versus doing the old school kind of like linear edit.
Our hard disk goes.
It was a double in.
Our hard disk goes out to the family. Our hard disk goes out to the family.
Okay, so I went through and I cut all my sound bites here. Now my next favorite trick here is, I love this one because after I discovered it, it's a huge time saver. And so what I do is I switch this to input mode before I'm writing on overwrite. Now this one is going to insert, I should say, and I'm going to take my entire track, put it down there and insert it here. And so the reason why this is now I can see the audio waves, and what I'll do is I'll pull these over here and insert them in the blocks. And then I'll tighten that up in my A-roll.
All right, what can I get for you today? Summers at the drive-in restaurant at Taylor's Falls are always busy. But server... Be all for you? But server Carly Peterson says it was packed Saturday afternoon when she... Restaurant at Taylor's Falls are always busy. Will that be all for you? But server Carly Peterson says it was packed Saturday afternoon when she heard a crash. Stop, like you're getting really close. He thinks the woman panicked, pressing the gas instead of the brakes. The Chisago County Sheriff's Office says the driver backed into a group sitting at a picnic table. Just because there's always this table here, and now there's kind of this, like, white elephant.
Explorer went down the hill under the vehicle. Wade Vitalis says up to 20 people.
Which was the amazing part.
Owner Wade Vitalis says up to 20 people helped lift the SUV, pull one of the victims away. Another was stuck in the stream. Another.
So here Heidi redoes her track, and so I like this little trick too, is so I like the natural pause in there, and so I just take the waveforms and I line them up like this, and then that keeps me that natural pause.
Another was stuck in the stream.
So we cut off the length of the hose and brought that down to try to help the woman breathe while she was underwater.
While a man hitched his Jeep to the SUV to pull it up the hill, freeing the woman. Wade says another person
started doing CPR on her until first responders arrived and were able to get her breathing again.
Because of all these people jumping into action. It was just really wanting to do something.
Person started doing CPR on her.
And that was just an example of people
In Taylor's fault.
our heart just goes out to the family.
Okay, so I got everything in order here, and I'm going to turn off the thing, go to overwrite mode. 1 second to pad off the front.
What can I get for you today?
Now I'm going to tighten up my audio. I'm going to listen as I go here.
Summers at the drive-in restaurant in Taylor's Falls are always busy. Will that be all? Always busy. Will that be all for you? Always busy. Will that be all for you? All for you? But server, be all for you? But server Carly Peterson says. She was backing up and she close. Carly thinks really close. Carly thinks the woman just because there's always this table here. A group sitting at a picnic table. Just because sitting at a picnic table. Just because there's always this table here, and now there's kind of this like white elephants in the room. The Ford Explorer. White elephants in the room. The Ford Explorer. Under the vehicle.
Everybody
witnessed. Under the vehicle.
Everybody witnessed it, right? So anybody sitting at a picnic table, they didn't run away from it. Amazing part.
The
amazing part.
Owner Wade Vitalis says up to 20 victims away. Another was stuck in the street.
So we cut off.
Stuck in the street.
So we cut off and like put a hose and about that time. She was underwater.
Meanwhile,
Breathe while she was underwater.
a man hitched his Jeep to the SUV to pull it up the hill, freeing the woman. Wade says another person started doing CPR. Her breathing again.
Because of all
able to get her breathing again.
Because of all these people jumping into action. It was just real. Wanting to do something. Our heart just goes out to the family. Do something. Our heart just goes out. Out to the family.
In Taylor's Falls, Heidi Woodall, Care 11 News.
Okay, so I just finished the A-roll, and it's nice and tight. And by editing nice and tight, I can get some more nat sound in. So my TRT runtime is supposed to be 130, and the runtime is 128 because I was able to get it so tight. So now I have 2 seconds more nat in, and sometimes I can fudge it just a little bit. But that's the A-roll. I didn't put any nats in yet because depending on my sequencing. Then I'll decide if there's any particular ads I want to put in, unless the recorder wrote to it and had it in the script, in which case she gave me a lot of liberty on this package. So I'm going to cut the A-roll. Okay, and so that's how I do my A-roll. Again, that might not necessarily be the best way, but that's the way how I've been doing it. A couple things that you might have learned there to help with your speed. If there's any suggestions you have, I'm open to listen. But when I was done with my A-roll, it was about 9:22 according to the clock on my computer. So that gave me about 25-30 minutes to finish my package. And with that much time for B-roll, I can handle that pretty quickly. If you're in a crunch, all you have to do is just hit in, out, and fill the black. So that's why I like to do the A-roll first. If you have any suggestions, I'd be glad to hear on your suggestions on how to edit faster. Okay, so that was an example of A-roll editing. Again, I didn't do the B-roll because that's a whole other conversation to have. But A-roll is very important because it helps with pace, and it tells you how long you have without burning time trying to edit B-roll. And then if you delete it, what was the point of editing the B-roll for that? So it's a huge time saver to do A-roll first and have those nice tight edits. But anyway, thank you for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe so I'm not out there, and maybe leave a comment. So if you have a tip that you might want me to share, maybe you have a challenge I could try to tackle in a future episode. But thanks for joining me. My name is Bill, and you've been watching TVPhotogTips. Good luck and have fun. A-roll, I'm going to start over. I don't even know what I'm going to say.